Welcome back. This week we are going to be using tables, often called input and output tables, to help us graph in quadrant 1 on a coordinate plane. Now if you look at the picture, you just see an L with tick marks, and it's not a cross because we're only looking at quadrant 1, so there's no need to draw the other quadrants. In class, we would put the origin would still be right here on the center where the two lines intersect. But today, instead of counting by ones, our x-axis is going to count by twos. As well as our y-axis. Alright, so step 1 would be to look at the tables. We have two for two practice problems. Look at the table and figure out what the pattern is so that you can fill in the missing numbers. So let's look at our first box. We see 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, those go in order, so there's nothing mysterious about that. Sometimes they don't go in order. Sometimes I'll be counting by twos, by threes, the squares of numbers. It just really depends on the type of table. But for this week, most of our boxes will be 1 to 5 or counting by fives. It just depends on the graph given to you. So now we need to look in our y box. Just like in class, we have an x-axis and a y-axis. It's just sideways. But before we can plot any points, we have to figure out the missing numbers. So, 1, 2. Well, that doesn't tell me too much. So I have to look at the next box. 2, 4. Oh, I think I see a pattern because 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So this must be 3 times 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. And this must be 4 times 2, which would be 8. So, now that we've figured out the boxes, now it's time for us to plot it on the graph. So, we talked about ordered pairs before. And so, this box is going to become parentheses 1, comma 2. This will come 2, comma 4. This will become 3, comma 6, 4, comma 8. So that will tell me where I would plot. Now if you notice, our grid, it only goes by twos. So when I get to my first box, 1, comma 2, I'm going to have to go in between 0, 0 and 2, which is right here halfway. That's where 1 would be. And then I would go up to 2, which is right here, and put my dot. So for the next box, it says 2, 4. So I'd go over to 2 because we always do our x-axis first, and I would go up to 4, and that's where my dot would be. My next one says 3, 6. Now, we don't have a 3, but we know 3 is in the middle of 2 and 4, so we'll come right here, and we'll go up to 6. And then our last one is 4, 8. So we go 4, we go up to 8, and we draw our dot. And so for this week, we will connect the dots. And we'll just draw an arrow like this. Because the pattern will keep going. We just stopped here, but the pattern is infinite. So it's kind of hard to see, but I do have an arrow at the bottom as well, meaning it goes down and up. So let's go to our blue box. Our blue box has a different kind of pattern. Well, 1 times 6 will give me 6. 2 times 6 would not give me 12, so that can't work. So we have to figure out something else. I know 6 take away 1 is 5. 7 take away 2 is 5. So maybe the pattern is adding by 5 more. to get our box. So that would mean this would be 8 and this would be 9. Some of you might have caught on that it went 6, 7, 8, 9. Either way is fine, but you have to find a number pattern and make sure that it makes sense. So now we need to plot it on our quadrant 1 graph. Once again, we have parentheses 1, 6, 2, 7, 3, 8, and 4, 9. So, let's try it out and plot it. So same thing, 1 is not exactly a tick on our x-axis, but we know it's in the middle. So we're going to go 1 up to 6 and put a dot. 2, 7, and now 7 is not on this, so we have to kind of estimate. It's in between 6 and 8. 3 is in the middle, up to 8. 4, and then 9 is kind of in between, so we're like that. And so our line would look like this. Like that. So we have 2 different lines. I hope you watch the next video where the input-output tables get a little bit more difficult. If you have any questions, rewatch the videos, send me a message on Edmodo, and possibly I could clarify it. Alright guys, see you in a few days. Bye.